Well, hello everybody. I'm Jerry Emge, a realtor with Keller Williams The Lakes in Lake Elsinore, California. And I produce these videos on a regular basis, usually weekly, usually by Thursday morning. And I cover a wide variety of real estate topics. If you watch my videos and like them, give them the old thumbs up when you get that opportunity. When you get a chance to subscribe. And when you do that, you can hit the little bell and you'll be notified when new videos go live. Every episode that I produce is a new real estate topic. And what I wanted to talk about today is when homeowners know it's time to move on. If you survey people buying a house, they'll tell you they plan to stay there about 15 years. But the reality is they tend to stay anywhere from 6 to 12 years, with sort of the average being around 10 years. So at about the 10-year point, people start getting the itch, for whatever reason, to sell their house and go on. Now, sure, some of them get transferred out of state and change jobs or careers, all kinds of reasons. But I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons, in no particular order, why people start to pack it in and move on. The first reason I want to give you is that people at some point during this, let's say 10-year period, start getting really tired of the maintenance and upkeep of taking care of that house. Especially if they're an older couple, they start thinking, gee, we need to get into something maybe like a condo where we don't have to pay for a gardener or a landscaper or do the work ourselves. And yeah, we got to pay some fees to do that, but it really will alleviate us from that burden. They either move to a condo that takes care of all that for them and has less property to take care of. In fact, in most cases, no property to take care of. Or they move to a better neighborhood with a stronger HOA that takes care of more things. For example, I've lived in a HOA community where you weren't even allowed to cut your own grass. The HOA took care of everything. Where I live now, I live in an HOA community where you do have to cut your own grass or hire a gardener to do that. So there's a whole wide variety of things like that go on. So that's one reason people will start packing it in and bailing out. A second reason is that sometimes people will buy into a house thinking everything's going to be hunky-dory, their income's going to continually go up, and things don't work out the way they planned. And all of a sudden, they're starting to feel the stress. It may be after the first year of owning that home. It could be after the 6th or 7th year. But at some point, they feel really stressed out about the costs of living there. So they start thinking, let's get into something with a little lower financial burden. And hopefully by that time, maybe they've gained some equity in their house. They can sell it and move to something less expensive or downsize, whatever it may be, and take some of that stress out of their life. The third reason is that, and this is what you find in mostly new communities, when people buy into a new community, if it's mostly starter type homes, they move in with a certain size family and all of a sudden their family starts to grow. So they actually outgrow the house. And that's another very common reason why people have to leave. They start out with 1 kid and end up with 4, and they only have 3 bedrooms, so things like that. So that's another reason why they'll start to consider moving out of that house. And that can usually happen by the 10th year. Another reason is people want to jump in whenever there's a major seller's market going on. They want to jump in on it and get some of that profit out themselves. So when they start seeing a lot of activity in their general area, their community, a lot of for sale signs, a lot of people moving and coming and going, some people start to feel like they're missing out on that boat. So that's another reason why they will sell. And finally, when you look around and you see your neighbors selling, which kind of is related to the last reason I gave you, but when you really see your close neighbors selling, you think, we don't want to miss that. We want to get in on it. We want to get out of here, go on to something else. And so their house goes up for sale. One way they can keep their finger on the pulse of that, is to look at the realtor flyers that are either put on your door or on your step, or that show up in your mailbox. These are flyers that realtors generally will produce, not all do, but some will produce them, and it will list the things that have sold in the neighborhood and at what prices. So people will get that and say, oh, there's a house just like ours, and it sold for this amount. We could probably get at least that much too. Those are the top 5 reasons why people will pack it in, put their house up for sale, and go on to something else. Once again, if you like my videos, give them the old thumbs up. And that's really all I wanted to talk about on this episode. Here comes a little bit of information about me. You see the information, you can actually pause the video, write down my phone number and email address. Get hold of me anytime. I'm happy to talk to you about anything real estate, whether it's the topic I covered here or any of my other videos, or just something in general. So thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.